How's it going, everybody? My name's Dalton. Welcome back to another episode of Garage 99. I know you guys are all dealing with this virus and everything that's going on, but hope you're all staying safe, being careful, washing your hands and whatnot. Alright, so today we are going to be working on some odds and ends on the car. I've compiled a list of things that I may need or things that I've noticed because I've been dailying the car every day. I haven't driven this since this whole outbreak thing started, so I've been working with the Miata and I noticed a bunch of things that I need and or things that are driving me nuts or creaks or rattles or whatever, or things that I want to fix. First thing I want to do is I want to rework the airbag cover. The way I have the airbag cover on there, I don't think it's secure, but it kind of rattles a little bit. Like, it's not super tight up along the top. You see how it does that? I don't like that. So we're gonna try and either get some insulation foam or something inside of there, maybe redo the way that the bolts go through the nuts to hold the bottom part on. So we're gonna do something like that. And then the next thing I want to do, we're gonna fix the driver door in general. When this window is all the way up and the top is on it, it doesn't form a tight seal around here. As you can see, that's almost all the way down and it's not tight up around it. I think I needed to go inside the door panel and raise it up a little bit. And then also, I don't like how loose this is. I want to see if I can either get this tightened up somehow along there or what I can do, but that top panel is loose, and then even when it closes it feels like it's just janky. Not like the passenger side. The passenger side's really good. That's just got a very nice stout sounding close, so we want to work with that. I want to fix the front lip gap. Oh, there's just a tiny bit of gap in the middle of it. I might need to just put another bolt in there somehow. I was having an issue with the driver's seat. One of the bolts seemed like it was loose on the transmission tunnel side. I had a squeak I noticed in the left rear of the car while I was driving it. It kind of sounded like plastic against metal or something, so we're gonna look into that. There's a small hole in the side of the soft top right there. I don't think it's gonna be an issue. It's pretty small. It doesn't leak any water, but I do want to get something behind there so I can plug it up. I also noticed when I added that little bit of camber a couple weeks back that the front right only, that rubs a little bit on the fender liner, so I need to do that. And then I also want to make a trunk liner, because I don't know if you guys noticed in these cars, where the spare tire goes, it's kind of ugly, and I mean, I'm showing a little bit of surface rust over there, but I want to either get something I can fasten up along here, cover all that, and inside of there, maybe it'll insulate a little better, maybe it'll kind of reduce some road noise, but I don't know. I want to try and figure that out today. And then last but not least, I want to realign the trunk lid, because for some reason, I should be able to just close this, and it doesn't want to close. So it's hitting something, I got to figure it out. So, on all those notes, let's get to it. First thing I noticed, that left rear squeak that I had, I just put it all back together. But this little trim panel right here that holds on the soft top, that probably keeps the moisture barrier up against there, it was loose. As you can see, that screw that was supposed to be in there snapped off, so it was just spinning freely and it had like a lot of wiggle up against there. I'm hoping that's it. I just put a metal tap screw in there and it held it up pretty tight up against there, so hoping that fixes it, but we'll see later on when we take it for a drive. So for those of you who have one of these cars and your window is not very tight up against your soft top, it's probably this bushing right here that doesn't allow it to keep tight up against the car. So what I did was I got a thick washer and I put it around that to kind of pull it more in with a zip tie. I don't know if it's gonna last, but it pulls nice and tight up against there. I would say I fixed that. For now, it's a temporary fix. It might not last. I hope it does though. Call that a win. So I just put everything back together. I kind of reattached everything a little better. I might need to clean this off a little bit, but door panel is a lot more solid than it was before. And listen to this. Solid door close. Window's nice and tight all the way around there. So zip tie win. All right, we just patched up the soft top. It's just a simple fix for now. Car's not perfect, so we're not going to worry too much about it. It looks okay in the right light. Currently, we are going to work on the front lip gap. All right, we just got that piece screwed on there. close up this gap a little bit. It's still not perfect. I'm not super happy with that. Better than it was before, I guess. That all lines up good. Okay, we can cross that off the list. Now we can realign the trunk lid. Okay, well, this is strange, but the latch that says forward is actually backwards because it says forward should be the opposite way. I just flipped it around and it closes so much easier. OEM parts be like. Yeah, so that's fixed. I still have a rub on the front right, and we have to rework the airbag cover, so I'm gonna get to that now. So how this front cover was before, it had these covers and everything was just sticking out way too far. And it was just kind of obvious from the driver's standpoint, and I didn't really like it. So what I ended up doing was I super glued nuts on the back of where these go through. There's two little corner chunks about like that stick out of the dashboard. And then this piece actually kind of like hooks in and then lowers down on the front of this. So I actually ended up taking a rag and wrapping that rag around where it clips. That way it sits in there tighter. And then pulling it down, threaded these two through. And I actually like how low profile they are. Looks pretty good, looks a little better. Hopefully it'll ride a little less. All right, so I just went and picked up this blanket material to put in the trunk to fill in that little gap so we can make the trunk liner. I think what I'm gonna do, cut this out the way I need it, drill through it, and use some of them push pins. Just keep it in the trunk, make it look like the rest of it, and I'll let you guys know how that looks. So after some cutting, drilling, cutting, more drilling, using these clips, I finally got this to work in here the way I want it to. Looks okay, it's better than the rust and everything. It's slightly off colored, but it's not so bad. I got it all to level out. All right, so we took care of that rubbing issue we had underneath here. Looks like we had to cut a lot of stuff out, use a bunch of zip ties, but it doesn't rub anymore, so got that taken care of. And I just took it for a test drive to make sure that it wasn't bottoming out or rubbing on anything, because it would rub and it would sound terrible. All right, so the only thing I couldn't get done was fix that squeak in the back left of the car. I have no idea what it is. I checked the brake line, I checked the top of the rear suspension, I checked all of the firewall stuff in the trunk, any of the filler neck stuff, any of the wires going from the cabin to the trunk. I checked the rain guards. If you guys can figure out what it is, it sounds like it's like right here, straight down somewhere. I mean, it could be suspension, it could be in the trunk, it could be in the cabin. I just don't know. If any of you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I think that's going to conclude today's video. I know times are pretty tough right now with everything that's going on with Corona, COVID, whatever you want to call it. You know, you guys are probably spending a lot more time indoors, away from everybody. You can't do anything. I know it's tough. Just hold out. I should know. I'm in the medical field. I know more so than a lot of social media, TV, any of that stuff. We have to hit a high point eventually. I mean, before it starts coming down and we can start returning things to normal. So I know a lot of you guys are probably spending more time on YouTube than you would normally. I appreciate that if you've been watching the videos recently. That's going to conclude today's video though. Peace out. Keep turning those gears. Don't forget I upload every single Wednesday. Peace.